Hello, everyone. So my name is Babalola, and I go to Wheaton College, and I am a junior. So my story is going to be a little unconventional in the sense of it's not going to be talking about my internship, just an experience I had at Boston. Hope you enjoy. Walking down the streets of Boston, mesmerized, stunned by the scenery. The city was puzzling with life, cars swishing from one street to the next, blue bike drivers pedaling confidently in traffic, as if a car or a bus can just end it all. All around me, there's cabs and restaurants populated with all demographics of people, eating and drinking pleasantly. And lastly, the story, high architectural structures seemingly built by humans, littered the city endlessly. We were near the Seaport District. My friend Paul spoke, breaking me out of my trance. We're approaching the John Moakley United States Courthouse. It's the Federal Judiciary Boston Courthouse, he says with emphasis. Reluctantly, knowing I had no life, I decided to follow. Upon my arrival at the courthouse, I was astonished by the unique positioning and structure of the courthouse. It was shaped in a sea-like fashion, with its inner structure covered in glass. Facing the harbor, its indomitable presence juxtaposed the boats that were being sheltered at the port. As I went into the courthouse, I was surprised by the unexpected security and thoroughness of the guards. After the awkward passing of my phone and leaving my electronics behind, we began our journey to find a court trial. My friend and I asked for directions of any court proceedings. Thankfully, they pointed us in the direction of the 5th floor. As I ambled, a wave of nostalgia came over me. Prior to this, years ago, I did mock trial. And it was my first exposure to law, and I enjoyed every second of it. The reason I never pursued was because I committed to medicine. And if you know anything about me, that commitment evaporated. As my friends and I made my way into a courtroom on the 5th floor, we instantly felt the authority in the room. The judge was sitting at the back of the room in a chair elevated above all else, as if to emulate a king. And in this room, he was. 2 individuals sat at either side of him, 10 feet away, in mundane chairs. One seemed to be his clerk, while an unknown individual. We stealthily approached the closest seat to the door, hoping to bring no attention to ourselves. And of course, we did not. Within the first 5 minutes, I learned that a woman was on trial for breaching the contract of her parole. She barely spoke any English, and the trial was difficult to follow. After 15 minutes of complete and utter confusion, a snippet of understanding here and there, I wanted to leave. Suddenly, the judge snapped at someone at the Zoom. I was instantly locked in. He then asked the prime witness, the woman, a question to see if she checked on every job application if she had a felony, as she had been in the court prior to this. And the most unexpected thing happened. She profusely started to dodge the question. Now that I was fully awake, after almost sleeping, I looked around the room and everyone's facial expression said it all. This is the crux of the issue. That moment stand out above all else for me. It wasn't because the woman was profusely trying to dodge the question or the judge snapping at the translator on Zoom, but it was because of the amount of control and power he had in his courtroom. I felt a deep sense of admiration as I understood probably how he did not have a straightforward path. Then I remember one of the common themes in the first week of my internship when having a one-on-one with my coworkers. They never planned to be there. Many took vastly different fields, but the one thing they always had was enthusiasm, and they were the best at what they were doing. So my takeaway for that brief moment of admiration was that even if things don't go according to plans, or a friend wants you to go on a walk even though you want to sleep in, the important lesson is to be flexible and take everything a day at a time and as it comes, and do it within the best of your abilities. And now, I'm here speaking to you all. Thank you.